Joe.
Okay. And your age, Joe?
55. Actually, it was in November of 2008, so my Harley Road King is the first bike I ever owned.
Did you ever race motorcycles before?
No, I never actually had been on a motorcycle before I bought the Harley. I've always wanted to ride motorcycles. My father was very anti-motorcycle because of a bad accident my cousin was in. And so I ended up then getting a motorcycle, and it was the Road King, and I've never looked back on it. And the Road King is my bike. I mean, I've always wanted a Road King. I went and bought a Road King, and I'm a Road King rider for life. You know, it would have been hard to answer that question up until this trip that I'm taking right now, but I have to tell you that riding through Arizona and looking at all of those mountains and the red mesas and just, you look for miles on end, and it's clear sky. You know, you're up at around the 7,800 mile mark for, you know, elevation. It was just beautiful riding coming out here through Arizona. 115.
What bike was that on?
That was on my Road King. I was doing 115, and the only reason I laid off is we were coming up to a curve in the road, and there was a mountain in front of me. The scariest thing was I was recently riding what's called the Three Twisted Sisters in Texas. It started, I was with my two brothers who also ride. It started raining about 2 miles into the ride, and we should have turned around. But instead, we got off our bikes, we put our rain suits on, and we kept going. And it was so bad that I couldn't see more than, I could barely see the tail lights of my brother's motorcycle right in front of me. And it was lightning, and that was what was most concerning to me, was not the rain. I mean, I was soaked through, there wasn't a dry patch of skin on me when we got finished. It was raining that hard. But I was most scared about getting hit by a bolt of lightning. So when I was 18 years old, I bought a motorcycle. I put a down payment on a motorcycle. And I went home and I was talking to my dad, and he was walking through with me the payments, the insurance, costs, everything else. And he said to me, "How are you going to afford all of that and a place to stay?" And I said, "But I'm living at home." He said, "Not if you own a motorcycle, you're not." Okay, he was that anti-motorcycle, all right? If I could start it all over again, I would have found a place to live, and I would have bought that motorcycle anyway.
Awesome, man.
So I'm creating an app for motorcycle riders that's going to log the amount of miles that they ride. And one of the things that I had thought when I came up with this idea, and I love riding anyway. I don't own a car. I've been riding just a motorcycle for 3 years. It's nothing for me to go to the grocery store, fit everything I can in my saddlebags, and ride home with 3 grocery bags hanging from my handlebars. But I enjoy riding so much that I wanted to go out, I wanted to meet more people, I wanted to experience more of just riding on the open road, and I thought, well, you can kind of start small, but I'm not a believer in going anything small, so I went big right away, and I thought, let's do a 1,000,000-mile ride. And so over the course of about the next 8 or 9 years, I'm going to ride 1,000,000 miles. I'm a big supporter of Wounded Warrior. I'm a big supporter of veterans who are disabled. At some point, I'd like to pick up a sponsorship and a partnership with somebody like that so that we can kind of do some fundraising through part of this 1,000,000 miles, but I don't have anything right now set up. Follow along on www.themillionmileride.com, and I post things on my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page, Trusted Riding. I have a Twitter account. People always know where I am and what I'm doing, and if you're out there and you're in the area where I am, hit me up and let's go along for a ride.
Henderson Harley-Davidson, your hometown Harley-Davidson dealer.